Drew Harper.
After close miking every drum and using 2 overhead mics, what should be the next instrument? Should I mic the hi-hat, snare bottom, or add a room mic?
That's a great question, Drew. That's a really, really good question, because I've been in that position before, right? Everybody starts with close mics, and then you get your 2 overheads, and then you listed 3 options, which are probably all the next right choice. So you said snare bottom, hi-hat, or room mic was the third one? Man, oh, that's so tricky. So I would say, let's go process of elimination. Hi-hat, I would say no. And it's style dependent. If you're recording hip-hop, probably the hi-hat mic would be the next one, or the snare bottom. That's a tough call. It depends on how much you like your snare sound right now. You can definitely get awesome snare sounds without a snare bottom. Personally, I do like it. I like having a snare bottom mic, and I use it. But you know, if you heard it in the mix, like if I opened Logic and showed you the actual volume of the hi-hat bottom mic, it's like almost not even there. So it's contributing 5% to the snare sound that I'm getting. I would say that my overheads are contributing way, way more. Now, for me, I use 3 overhead mics. My middle mic, I use it not really to capture cymbals, but more to capture like drum tones. So I can position my left and right overhead mics to grab my cymbals. And then the center mic is not really to grab cymbals. It's much more to grab sort of the picture of the center of the kit and get some drum tones there. I balance that against a crotch mic, which kind of does the same thing. So, to be honest with you, of all of those, I'd say not the hi-hat mic. I get that one out of the way. So between a snare bottom and a room mic, you know, it would be easier for me to tell you if I could hear your sound, because you might have a really complete overhead picture. And so adding more of that room tone might not be super necessary, and the snare bottom might actually solve the problem. So I'd say it's kind of between those two. If you like your snare sound, I would say don't worry about that snare bottom microphone. It is not necessary. I've done plenty of high-end recordings, even in other studios with other people, where we didn't use a snare bottom. You don't have to have it, and even if you do, you're just barely going to use it. So I'd say the safe recommendation, depending on your mix, is probably going to be that room mic, because, man, a high-end room mic placed in the correct spot of the room, it's just going to capture something that is very different from all of the microphones that you currently have on your kit. Because if all you have right now are 2 overheads and close mics, which are all of the fundamentals, there is definitely some boomy, spacious, ambient sound that you could add underneath the entire mix that you have, and it will really impact the character of your entire mix. So I would say you're going to have the most fun and probably get the most benefit out of that room mic. The snare bottom, you know, if you don't like your snare sound, that might be the one to go with next. But you will be disappointed in how little you use it, because you're just going to be like, eat on the fader, and then that's it. Any more than that, it gets tinny and scratchy and a little weird. So if you like your snare sound and you don't really care to like manipulate that too much from here, then I think room mic, that's probably going to be the best one. It's fun to talk that out, because it's, you know, I've had them all before. I've had all of those mics, but I would say the room mic, the spaciness is probably going to be the most impactful of all of those 3. But that's a great question, man. Really cool.
Cool.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Orlando Drummer Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure you did. It was an absolutely fantastic clip. And if you're looking for more content, sort of like this, but a lot more in-depth, you're formally invited to come check out my online drum school at the link in the description. You can start a free 7-day trial and access all 160 hours of content that's there. It's a lot. Trust me. Check it out. Link in description.